Good evening, Wareham, and welcome to the Select Board meeting of March 3rd, 2026. May I have a roll call, please?
With us tonight is Mr. Bowen, Mr. Sullivan, myself, Ms. Whiteside, Mr. Chadwick, Mr. Still, Mr. Gomes is excused absent.
Thank you. I declare that we have a quorum present. I'm going to ask Mr. Sand and Mr. Stevens to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Would you remain standing, please? Sorry, I blew that. I'd like to take a moment of silence for 4 members of our community. Richard Smitty Smith, a Wareham High School graduate, was a teller at town meeting for many, many years and always had a warm welcome for all of the attendees. Peter Borsari was also a graduate of Wareham High School and had a second career as a full-time substitute teacher at Wareham High School. Donald E. Lake, Donnie, served the town for 28 years in many positions, from seasonal police officer, skilled laborer, and custodian. Dr. Clifford Wayne Sylvia, known as Cliffy, served the town of Wareham for more than 50 years as teacher, coach, department head, founder of DECA, and member of the school committee. May we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Announcements. Mr. Still?
None for me, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chadwick?
Just real quick, I want to thank all of municipal maintenance, police, fire, EMS, and anyone else who went through living ever heck last week, clearing snow and everything to help all the residents of Wareham get out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Corbett?
Yes, I just want to let everyone know that the deadline, MEMA has a deadline of this Friday for you to file for any property or business damage that you suffered in the storm. So just Google MEMA property damage storm, and you can get a form, or you can call them as well. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that. And I would also like to thank Caleb LaRue, thank you, Mr. Sullivan, and all of the good people that worked so hard during the storm, as well as our Senator Doonan, who helped bring the resources from MEMA to this town. They were really incredible. I saw one of the big boys in onset clearing. I felt like a 10-year-old boy. It was just, it's like this big with this big of a shovel. It was incredible. So thank you all.
All set?
Yep.
Thanks. You will notice that there's no time for residents' comments this week on the agenda. I expected a very full agenda, what with the closing of the warrant, and Mr. Sullivan told me he would have a very full report for us. And of course, I knew there was going to be $1 million snowstorm, so I think we've all had a very long week. I remind the public, however, that you may always contact the Select Board through email or by calling the office. Wareham Public Schools are holding a virtual informational meeting regarding kindergarten enrollment for children who will be 5 by August 31st, 2026. Look at the school's website for further information. I'm pleased to announce that the contracts between the Select Board and WCTV have been signed, one for Verizon and one for Comcast. The town worked very closely for almost 2 years, Mr. Day tells me it was almost 3, to get these contracts in place. Our Cable Advisory Committee, chaired by Matt Underhill, worked closely to complete negotiations between the town and Comcast and the town and Verizon. And until those were in place, the Select Board could not move forward with our contracts. I want to thank Kelly Cherbuck, chair of WCTV's Board of Directors, as well as Michael Sauché and John Day from WCTV for taking a critical look at WCTV's business model and working closely with the town to provide ongoing services. And an important advisory from the ABCC regarding liquor license. Alcoholic beverages, ABCC, regarding news about non-consensual drugging occurring at bars, clubs, and other licensed premises. We will be sending this to all of our liquor license holders, but they are reminded that There's an increase in illicit, non-consensual drugging occurring at bars, nightclubs, and other nightlife venues. All licenses should alert employees and patrons about the increase in predatory behavior and advise to be vigilant in monitoring activity within their establishments. Yeah. I think there's other words for them today. But yes, so licensees are encouraged to have an active security plan in place in which all employees are trained. So all of our license holders will be getting one of those. The transfer station is open now, and it's plowed, and it's fully accessible because I went there today. Tomorrow, the recycling center will be closed due to the weather, but it will be reopening on Saturday. And to finish up, I had
The recycling center, not the transfer station.
the recycling center over on Old Plymouth, Maple Springs, right, yeah. I attended a meeting of the emergency management team last Thursday, and I want to share my thoughts about the wonderful team effort led by Caleb LaRue of the town's emergency management over the past week. I expect that Mr. Sullivan will give a far more detailed report later this evening. At the meeting were representatives of both fire districts, the Board of Health, EMS, IT, police, the National Guard, Mr. Sullivan and Miss Allen England, and a representative from Eversource. It was clear that Wareham mobilized not only all of our resources, but were able to use help from the Commonwealth, thanks to Senator Kelly Dooner, as well as having the Select Board, in really great foresight, give Mr. Sullivan the ability to call a state of emergency. So I want to say thank you for everybody who worked really, really hard. And that's it for my announcements. Ms. Corbett, we have... Is Colleen Marble online, Mr. Day?
Did you do an announcement?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes? Okay, no. Okay, we have Mr. Brandon Sand and Mr. James Stevens. If you could step forward and have a seat and introduce yourselves. We have 3 applications to appoint members to the Veterans Council, which has been moribund for several years, but David McClure has been knocking on doors and saying, I voluntold you, right? So,
How it went, yes.
Yeah, he's good at that.
So Colleen Marble is unable to be here this evening, but she was our Grand Marshal in the parade 2 years ago, and she has 28 years in the Army National Guard. Brandon, why don't you go next?
Good afternoon, or good evening. Brandon Sand, 5 Jonathan Lane. 18 and a half years, the Coast Guard, still serving today.
James Stevens, 4 Beaver Path, and 27 years Coast Guard Auxiliary, still serving.
Thank you, thank you. We will then have a full committee, which is good. Unfortunately, the Veterans Council, when I first was around, was 15 members, and it was a very active committee. We had a very active American Legion, which is not any longer the case. It's, many fewer members. We have a very active, help me out. Yeah. VFW, yeah.
Okay.
So this is an important step, I think, in honoring people who have served for this country, but also it's a committee that I think is really important. Unfortunately, I'm the age of remembering the people who came back from Vietnam and got spat on, and I, to this day, resent the people who did that. So I'm very much in favor of moving forward and honoring the veterans in this country. Thank you.
I also have a comment. I think it was actually from something that, Brandon and I are across the street neighbors, that I picked up from some conversations that you and I have had. And I think it's important that we have younger members coming on board because, and I know this from personal experience, my dad was in the military. I have nephews and son in the military. Transitioning out of the military is really, really, really hard. It's a completely different environment. You no longer have the camaraderie you had with your brothers and sisters in the service. So I think that the Veterans Council can provide not only honoring the older generations, but helping the new, younger generations that are retiring from the military transition better to a successful role in civilian society. So thank you both very much. Yeah.
Do you have anything? Anything you'd like to say to the board about why you would like to serve or anything, other than David said, please do it?
I really don't. I just feel as though every private person has a public responsibility, and that's why I'm here.
Excellent.
I know a lot of people struggle when they get out. I'm starting the process of possibly retiring in the next few years, so I know that to have that camaraderie, like what you were saying, is very important, so I want to keep it going. Wife's from this area, so we're going to be sticking around, so.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yay.
I'll accept a motion.
All three?
Sure, but they have different, all three at the same time, but read them fully, please.
Okay, I move to appoint Colleen Marble to the Veterans Council with a term to expire June 30, 2029, and appoint Brandon Sand to the Veterans Council with a term to expire June 30, 2029, and to appoint James Stevens to the Veterans Council with a term to expire June 30, 2027.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint is read into the records. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Cor-
Aye.
And myself, yes, it is so. The three of you need to go to the Town Hall Select Board office. They will give you the paperwork that you need to sign before you can be sworn in by the town clerk. Thank you very much for being voluntold.
Thank you.
Take care.
Open. public-
Yes, please.
I move to open the public hearing regarding the application of South Shore Golf Cars LLC for a Class 1 agent's or seller's license in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 140, Section 58, to be operated at 58 Sandwich Road, Wareham, Massachusetts.
Is there a second to open?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to open the hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion to open the hearing? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr.
Yes.
Chadwick? Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The hearing is open. Good evening. Would you identify yourself for the record and let us know what you're seeking to do?
Hi, my name's Al Ritchie from South Shore Golf Cars, and we would like to be able to open a car lot for golf carts, street legal. We do sales, repair, and rentals.
And your location is?
58, well, the new location would be 58 Sandwich Road.
And you've been to you've been through building, you've been through all of the things that you need to go through?
Correct.
Okay. And you do have a plot plan, and you did get all of your green cards returned?
Correct.
Any questions?
Where is 58 Sandwich Road?
It's at
Across from the
58
housing.
Sandwich Road.
It's just near the EMS building. It's on the
Oh,
same
okay.
side as the EMS.
I was going to say, because I thought it might have been further down near Nezarelli's or
No, it's,
near that
yeah.
golf range.
And there was, go ahead. Yeah,
Almost across from Agawam Village.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
yeah, exactly. And previously, there was a car reselling business there, correct, before?
Yes, and a
And-
tow company.
Yeah. Is there anything on the property left from that old car level type
No.
of business? Nothing? Okay.
Completely empty.
Awesome. Thank you.
I know you have plans to change the white plastic fencing, possibly. It is a secured lot,
Correct.
right? And I think you had told me when I saw you in the office that you were thinking of maybe replacing the,
The white fence that's in the front, we wanted to put chain link just so we could display our carts, and then we're gonna do stockade completely around the property.
And can you tell us a little bit more? Because I had a really interesting conversation with you and your wife about exactly what you do, that you sell most of your stuff online.
We do
Et cetera.
about 60% online. We do about 90% of our service on the road.
Yeah.
And then everything we can't fix, we bring back to the property.
And so if you could consider this an advertisement for your business, and you could tell us how, if I wanted a golf car, how could I get a hold of you? What do people use them for? Those kinds of things?
The street legal, mainly, they're used for just private people driving them on the roads, and then also colleges who need to register them in municipalities. And then the other carts are mainly used for campgrounds. And to get a hold of us, you can just go online and Google South Shore Golf Cars.
There you go. Thank you.
and no, you do not have any money in the capital plan, Mr. Sullivan.
The town definitely needs
Oh.
one or two.
Yeah, we've been turning some in for at the golf course, and I'm trying to reappropriate some over to the sewer plant and steal one of their pickups. So it's a good time.
Oh,
So.
excellent, thank you. Do you have any questions of us, Mr. Ricky?
I do not.
Thank you. I will accept a motion to close the hearing.
I move to close the hearing for South Shore Golf Cars LLC.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion to close the hearing? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Hearing is closed. May I accept a motion, please?
I move to approve the application of South Shore Golf Cars LLC for a Class 1 agents or sellers license in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 140, Section 58, to be operated at 58 Sandwich Road, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve is read into the record. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Yes, that is so. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
choosing to do business in Wareham. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The paperwork will be in the office. Give them until Monday.
Great.
Well, actually, no, yeah, give them until Thursday.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll accept a
Since
motion.
This is a continuation. How do
Yes,
I word
to,
that? Vote to continue?
yeah,
Open?
to reopen.
Okay. I move to reopen the application of Tavern Hospitality, Inc., doing business as the Poor Farm Tavern, 196 Main Street, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571, for an entertainment license to include live music and jukebox, Sunday through Saturday between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 1 a.m., under the provisions of Chapter 140, Section 183A, and Chapter 136 of Massachusetts General Laws.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Your motion said to reopen the hearing, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was,
Yes.
thank you. Excellent. Is the applicant here this evening? Could you step forward, please, and identify yourselves for the record?
Good evening. Jennifer McHugh from Tavern Hospitality.
And Bradley Cardoza from Tavern Hospitality.
When we had you before us, we continued the hearing in hopes that you would be able to speak with one of the abutters who had raised some issues. Have you been able to do that?
We spoke after the hearing last time.
Have you made any other attempts to meet with the person who had the objections?
We have not.
Thank you.
Well, can I ask?
Sure.
Did you guys come to any sort of meeting of the minds or meeting in the middle or anything?
No. No, his request was for us to not have music prior to 8 p.m., which is not something that we would care to agree on.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, Mr. Bowen, I'm going to ask you to weigh in on this, please. Mr. Bowen, of Town Council.
What would you like me to add, Madam Chairman?
We have before us an application, and we had hoped that the people, that they would have come to an agreement with,
What might such an agreement have looked like?
yeah,
So, thank you, Madam Chairman.
that was the leading question. Yes, sir.
All right, well, through you to the applicants. I'm not a selectman, so I don't get a vote. So I'm only going to tell you what I would have done if I were the applicant. I would have met with the gentleman who's sitting in the back of the room, and I would have made a deal with him that whenever he knows that he has a wake coming in, that he would notify you as soon as he books it, and that you would agree not to hold any outdoor entertainment on that date or any date that he's going to have, one of his solemn occasions at the funeral home. The thinking being that, people are there in one of the most sensitive moments of their life. It's emotional. They don't want to hear 50 Cent or one of those musical artists that we were discussing earlier, they want to be with their family, they want peace. So anyway, I think had I been a party to this, that's the deal I would have made. It would have protected the gentleman and his business from intrusions on people's saddest, most important lives, and would have let you have outdoor entertainment whenever you want, other than those occasions. That's just what I would have done. That's not what happened, so I guess it's up to the board to decide what it wants to do with the application.
So I do have some questions. Yes, sir. So you guys are planning acoustic music, right? Is that accurate first?
Yes.
Because it does say in the generic terms of jukebox, that kind of thing. So specifically, can you tell us a little bit more about the exact nature of the entertainment you're seeking to have at your place?
So where it's a small area, what we had discussed was having solo or duo acts of acoustic music. Occasionally, we would have, we'd have speakers outside, so we would have our music projecting outside as well onto our patio. But it's not big concerts or anything like that. It's, if we had DJs or amplified music in that sense, it's not a club feel or that style. It's more of entertainment for our guests that are sitting down, having some beers, socializing. I don't anticipate, we try to be very good neighbors. We do operate another establishment. We've had no issues with our neighbors at the other establishment. We do not want to come here and have issues with our neighbors here as well, so we try to be respectful of our business as well as other people's businesses. But
I
we
haven't
didn't
been
wanna-
to your business in New Bedford. I've been to your business here, and I know that New Bedford is a city.
It's a much different, we do much bigger music there
Yeah.
than we would do here. Even just size alone wouldn't allow us to do what we do there. It is a different animal, but we still, even with that larger scale, we don't have complaints or anything like that.
So
Here-
you're going to have speakers, because that's a puzzlement to me. Like if it's a person on a guitar or two people, one singing it, in that, I haven't been in your back patio. You really need speakers with that? Would that be something you definitely have to have, is speakers in that small area?
I think when she says speakers, like an acoustic musician with a speaker setup is basically not like an electric guitar
Oh, I
on
know.
a speaker, just slight amplification so that people 15 feet away can hear as good as the people that are, right up close. But we are definitely thinking acoustic, solo, duo only, just because the space we have won't allow us to do any more than that. And any sound any louder than sort of an acoustic solo or duo act would be overbearing for the space that we have. Inside, we're definitely going to be stuck to probably one to two max, and outside we might be able to handle 2 or 3 max people, but we're not, no electric stuff. It would still be acoustic. It's basically the only entertainment we have indoors in New Bedford is the acoustic stuff, and that's kind of the only type of entertainment we want to bring to Wareham, because we know we can't bring all the electric big bands that we have there. We have a lot of DJs in New Bedford too. We realized that, a DJ outside in this area would be obviously not a good idea. So yeah, we're really looking for the opportunity to be able to have musicians come play solo acoustic, but it would be often during the day.
On the weekend.
On the
I was gonna say
weekends,
not
like
during the
Saturday,
week.
Sunday.
And so,
Mr. Bowman has a
I know he does, but I do have one more thing. But you weren't willing to start your music after 8 and coordinate anything with, I'm sorry, Mr.
Consoletti.
Consoletti?
So we don't want to start after 8 because for us, having live entertainment, what that does is it draws people in, right? If you're coming in for happy hour when you get out of work, typically live music is part of our business plan to draw people into those slower times. That's typically why you would have live music. So it would be On the weekends, it would probably be in the afternoon. During the week, it would probably be during that happy hour time. We're not trying to have a late night party kind of atmosphere, which is when music after 8 would come into play.
Right, but your neighbor has a unique business. I don't think you've ever had a neighbor like that before, and
And
it just seems like you could compromise.
we could compromise, but we also, when we book musicians, that's their livelihood too. So we come to a mutual agreement, we're paying them. If we have to cancel, 2 weeks ago when we were here, he had said he oftentimes only knows about those services 2 days in advance. So now,
Have to book months out sometimes.
correct. Yeah, so we would be booking them far in advance. So if we have to start canceling people the day before, 2 days before, they don't have time to rebook. It just becomes poor business at that sense.
But what Mr. Consoletti gave us was law. So I guess then we need to talk to you, is where do things go from here? Because I would really like for you guys to stay in town a lot. I really want that to happen. But I understand the gentleman's dilemma. It's a really weird, different situation right here, and I think we need to be creative about accommodating both sides of this, if we can. So
I just have one question. Where's your location in New Bedford?
It's on Purchase Street, 780 Purchase Street, right downtown. Purchase Street.
Across the street from No Problemo.
Okay, I worked in New Bedford for 23 years, so if you tell
Up
me where-
Union Street,
Yes.
and then onto up Union Street to Purchase, so right next to BCC.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Mr. Bowen?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Selectman Corbett kind of asked some of the questions that I was interested in. You know, but to follow on her line, you know, why can't you make a deal? I mean, I understand there's a business of booking musicians in advance, but, you know, bookings can be flexible. You know, I don't want to be crass, but when somebody dies, you know, that's like the ultimate inflexibility. You know, and this is his business. He's already there. He's already doing it. So, I mean,
We're already there, too.
Yeah, and we're open to
yeah, you're there.
discussions.
You're there,
Yep.
but you're asking for something more.
Right.
You understand?
Yep.
So you're altering the status quo, and it's good that you're open to discussions. Again, I'm not a board member, so what these people say is what counts. But if you were open to discussions, I think, you know, based on what happened at that last meeting, the idea was that the discussions would have occurred, and that you would have been bringing the fruit of those discussions back to this board for hopefully a blessing. So,
I
you
no
know,
longer-
you should be working this out.
The way the conversation happened last time was that there wasn't really flexibility. If we didn't want to bend and do it, start after 8, there was no flexibility on the other side because what's
So
on
when-
the license
So when you
is the way
talked
that
to
it
him
is.
about that after the meeting, in the several phone calls that you made to him, that you've had since then, did he remain inflexible? The answer is no, because you didn't talk to him several times afterwards. You left a phone message without a return phone number, and here we are. So, look, these are reasonable people. They love you. They want you to do something great.
We're not really certain what you're speaking of. with
What I'm
the-
saying is, go make a deal.
Okay.
It's
We
as
have-
simple as that. And you don't make a deal by ignoring your neighbor, whose business is going to be interfered with by something new that you're asking for. Go make a deal. The guy's just sitting right there. Go make a deal.
You had a question? Mr.
Yeah.
Chadwick?
I think I understand where both businesses are coming from. Honestly, this is a rock and a hard place situation. For the Poor Farm, if you book someone and you cancel at the last minute, that gets out there. If you have to keep canceling at the last minute, you're not going to get any entertainment. That's going to hurt your business. I'm only 41, but I'm not going to be out past 8 o'clock. I'm considering myself old now, and I know a lot of people that don't want to be out past 8 o'clock. So music starting after 8 o'clock, I mean, once in a blue moon I'll go out for it, but that's late in my opinion. Saturdays, going to listen to someone, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'd love that. I love that type of stuff. It's nice, relaxing. I can be home by 5 and, all done and ready for bed by 7. I understand that. On the other hand, I also understand the point of, it's a funeral home there, and yes, you do have last minute, I don't want to say last minute, but, someone passes away, we have so much time afterwards, for the funeral. So I understand where you're both coming from. I don't know how.
We understand.
Without hitting either side, I don't know how. You guys, in my opinion, come to something. In my opinion, I don't know how that could work. It's both businesses, and I understand their side, and I understand his side, but.
I would
Mr.
echo
Steele?
that as well. I mean, we're dealing with multiple businesses, and one business is a lot to figure out. Then you have another one, and then the musician is a whole nother business. We have 3 different businesses, all wanting to do something that produces them money, income, and their well-being. I think the only way this gets done is a way we can figure it out with those other businesses. The census of the board here is whatever it may be, but I'm in the business of, I can talk to 5 different people. I might not get the same price with each one of them, but talking to them is the first step into that. So that's my piece. But I appreciate your guys' business. I appreciate his business and everyone out there. The only reason I would see this come to a middle is talking.
Does anyone know what the violation of decibels is? Like, what
Well,
is
see,
it?
and that's a big part of the problem. It hasn't even happened yet, right?
No.
So we don't know how disturbing it will be.
No,
But
but
on
what is
our
the max
bylaw,
decibels?
no, our bylaw is very hard to enforce because of measuring decibels. Our bylaw is not strong enough to help in this situation. Yeah, so that's one of the ones that we might be looking at.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I also don't know what does the law, he gave us the pieces of the law that I think clearly states that you guys can't do what you want when there's a funeral going on. What does that mean to this particular instance?
That's what my decibels was.
Well, that
because-
wasn't what I was referring to.
No.
I was
Well,
referring
but
to the violation of
I
funeral.
remember something that Mr. Consoletti said last time, and that was that the building is soundproof. He is unable to hear things outside of the building, that has not been an issue. So that, I believe Mr. Consoletti did not have an issue with music at the times that you had requested, as long as it was inside. I don't want to speak for Mr. Consoletti, but that was my memory. So, Mr. Bowen?
The only kind of deal I could see that would work around this, the protections that the law affords the gentleman, which have to be respected, is that if you were to grant an entertainment license that had outdoor entertainment as a component to it, that outdoor entertainment could not happen during periods when Mr. Consoletti was having. I'm not sure the proper way to address the occasion, an event.
Mr. Consoletti, would you step forward, please, and identify yourself for the record, sir?
80 decibels.
Mr. Consoletti, what would you,
Let
I
him-
know it's like a wake or. what
Could he
would you
just
call it?
identify himself for the record,
Name is
Mr. Bowen? Yeah.
Christian Consoletti. I am the owner of the Wareham Village Funeral Home located at 5 Center Street,
Thank you.
which is directly behind the Poor Fund.
You had given us those before, I think. Oh,
No.
okay.
This is a proximity of my front door to the fence is my fence. It's approximately the length of this room. So if I'm standing, speaking to
Mr. Consoletti,
You have to speak.
you have to speak into the mic. We can't, it doesn't pick it.
But you can hear,
No, but it needs
No.
to be on the record, sir.
to be on the record.
Yeah, you want
Yes,
the
to-
viewers.
So if I'm standing in the back of this room talking at a normal voice, you're going to hear me. So if I had my guitar you're going to hear me acoustically. Sound travels. I'm sorry.
And you said,
At the beginning of the meeting, I heard that somebody said they did not call me. I don't know who Leslie Katz or Cates is.
I don't either.
This is a personal call regarding the entertainment license at the next door restaurant. Stated she'll call back later. Number provided is not hers. So who called me at 9:53 a.m. on the 1st?
We have no idea who that person is.
You want me to play it?
No.
Okay.
So,
So somebody did reach out, don't know who they are.
okay, but you did not reach out to Mr. Consoletti other than in the hallway after the last time that we had the hearing?
Correct. We talked in the hallway, and then we went in and talked outside in the parking lot.
Okay, but that was the only conversation you've had?
Yes.
Okay. Seems to me that maybe we have some unfinished business here. We might want to continue this hearing again and give the parties who are here an opportunity to work with each other.
Excuse me, Madam Chair?
Yep.
I'm sticking to the law.
Okay,
I
Mr.
don't want any outdoor entertainment. Whatever they want to do within their business is fine.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Consoletti. Please, yeah. So, is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone here other than Mr. Consoletti who would like to speak against it? No? Do we have anybody online, Mr. Day, who would like?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
Thank you.
I have one more thing.
Continue? Okay.
I'm sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Just out of curiosity, if you guys are up for it, I'd love to meet with both of you guys on Saturday. Just, the only reason, this is my curiosity, you can say no.
Mr.
it's-
No,
I just wanted
No.
to test the decibels out, and
No.
that was my only question.
no.
Has anybody visited the venue?
Yes, I have.
Inside, outside,
Outside,
the back area?
outside today.
Outside?
area.
My area? Okay. With all due respect, I am not going to call a neighbor every time I have somebody come in. I had somebody in today at 4 o'clock to say goodbye to their father and their husband. I have a funeral tomorrow, a wake tomorrow, between 4 and 6, and I'll have another wake on Saturday between 12 and 1. Tomorrow's wake is for a veteran. Taps will be played at 5. And I don't think we need to hear any music being played during taps,
We would never do something disrespectful like that.
but you wouldn't know.
So,
Then
okay,
there is
excuse me,
communication.
excuse me. You have to speak through me. That's the way it goes. I'm going to ask that we continue this hearing for another 2 weeks
So moved.
and for a time specific, which would be 7:10. That, okay? And my hope is that some of the suggestions or ideas that might have come out of this discussion would be that you could actually talk about it. I guess that's the only way I can say that. Mr. Bowen, go ahead before we do
I
that.
don't want to cut off.
Well, we wanted, we're going to
Yeah.
move
Okay.
to extend,
Continue.
to continue, so before,
Okay,
yeah.
But if you have something else.
If I can tell the party something that I often hear from judges when I go to court, there's a way around this, and there's a way around this that's legal, but it's a way around it that neither one of you is going to like. But it's a way that's defensible in view of the law that you advanced, and it's a way around it that you're not going to like. So I'd do some talking. Otherwise, nobody's going to get anything that they like.
I will accept a motion to continue the hearing until 17th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made and seconded to continue the hearing until March 17th at 7:10 PM. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still, Mr. Chadwick, Ms. Corbett,
Aye.
and myself, aye. The hearing is continued until that time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will accept a motion to accept a donation.
I move to accept a donation of $25 from Jeffrey and Patricia Wilbanks in memory of Richard Smitty Smith.
Motion made and seconded to accept a donation. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still? Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It is so. Thank you.
I move to accept a donation of $100 from Lynn Wheatley Beaupre in memory of Richard Smitty Smith.
No,
Second.
go ahead. May I have a second? Motion made and seconded to accept. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still, Mr. Chadwick, Ms. Corbett,
Aye.
and myself, aye. It is so.
And I would just like to say thank you to both Jeffrey and Patricia Wilbanks and Lynn Wheatley Beaupre. I just think when people give their hard-earned money specifically to the town, and certainly specifically in memory of Richard Smitty Smith, I think they deserve a thanks from this board. So thank you very much. We can move on.
Thank you. Because of the snowstorm, I took an action based on what town council advised me to do, which was to move the deadline for submission of the articles for the town meeting warrant to Thursday, February 26th at 5 p.m.
So
And-
moved.
So I need you to ratify that action.
So
And
we
I
ratify.
want to ratify the action that I took, which was to extend.
I move to
Yeah,
ratify.
Yes. And I just want to point out that we posted on the town website under the Select Board's page, as well as on the town clerk page, to,
That-
yeah,
Yeah, Madam Chairman, you were faced with this big dilemma. What do you do during a storm? The town meeting is the citizens' meeting. So what do you do when the deadline for handing in articles is coming and everything's going to be closed because you've got 3 feet of snow, and lost power on top of it. So, the solution was extend the warrant, have the board ratify the extension. You did the right thing. And to your credit, Madam Chairman, you did the multiple postings, and I know there's at least one member of the community, who I won't identify, but somebody who I'm fond of, who has a habit of, getting in the last minute warrant articles. Madam Chairman took the extra step of having staff personally notify that person, a message was left, just in case the power was out at that person's house,
they were unable to leave a message.
Because the answering box was full.
Answering box was
Pardon
full,
me.
but they did reach out.
Yeah, but you reached out personally to try to catch that person, and, it was a bad time for everybody, but, you did the best you could with what you had. And I think the ratification vote cures any defects. Thank you.
So I move to ratify the action taken by Select Board Chair to change deadline for submission of annual spring town meeting articles to Thursday, February 26, 2026, by 5 p.m.
Motion made and seconded to ratify. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It is so. Discussion and possible vote to include 2026 annual town meeting articles. You all have been given a draft. The draft is what is in front of you. You also have a grid. There have been no changes in what was sent to you earlier. So I would ask that the clerk read into the record the article number and the descriptor name. So your motion would be, I move to include blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I move to include the following articles into the warrant for the upcoming town meeting. Number 1, election of officers. Number 2, recurring business. Number 3, compensation of certain elected and appointed officials. Number 4, fiscal year 2027 revolving funds. Number 5, occasional reports. Number 6, fiscal year 2027 capital plan. Number 7, fiscal year 2027, and I should have said fiscal year 2027 capital plan, fiscal year 2027 budget. Number 8, emergency medical services budget. Number 9, Upper Cape Cod Regional Technical High School budget. Number 10, WPCF Enterprise Fund. Number 11, rescind prior year bond authorizations. Number 12, Fiscal year 2027 Community Preservation Fund Reserves. Number 13, Community Preservation Committee Cranberry Manor Phase 2. Number 14, Community Preservation Committee Beaver Dam Creek Conservation Project. Number 15, the delivering of the town meeting warrant. Number 16, a bylaw amendment. Number 17, to dissolve Minot Forest Committee. Petition articles number 18, plastic bag reduction. Number 19, zoning bylaw change, section 950, add section 952.
Is there a second to that motion? Second. Motion made and seconded to include all of those as read into the record. I will note for the record that petition articles, if they have been submitted correctly, go on as a matter of right, and we don't have a way of not addressing them. Motion made and seconded to approve is read into the record. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It is so. Thank you. I will accept a motion to close the town meeting.
I move to close the 2026 annual Springtown meeting warrant.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the warrant. Is there any further discussion on the motion as read into the record? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It is so. I do not have any 48-hour business, so let's go to the town administrator's report. Mr. Sullivan, you've been waiting for this with bated breath.
No, because I know I'll not be able to give you everything that happened and everybody that did such a phenomenal job. So I will try and touch on everything, and anybody or any event that's left out, it's completely inadvertent. And this is a once in a generational storm, and I hope it stays that way. So we need to really make sure those that stepped up get the credit that they deserve, and that's something we can talk about offline, Madam Chair, and see if the rest of the board is interested in it. But so the blizzard of 26, which we started calling it early on, we were the early adopters of that very, very clever term, if you will. There was the good, the bad, and the ugly, like there would be in any one of these events. And sure, we're all sick about hearing about snow, plowing snow, shoveling, and trudging through it. But contrary to popular belief, this was a significant amount of snow. The most I think we've had in any one event. So, and terrible winds. And so I don't think I need to go through it because everybody here lived it, right? But last Thursday, we were having our last emergency operations meeting for this storm. And the first thing that was said afterwards was Onset Fire Chief Oswald, who complimented the Emergency Management Director, Caleb LaRue, for helping establish the best culture of collaboration and cooperation that we've ever seen between all the public safety departments, and I'd say that we've ever seen. It's not always easy with different departments, including the districts, and they were all phenomenal and worked as a team. And while Caleb set the tone, the public safety teams all came together to put forward a tremendous response. Although they're nearly endless examples, I will mention a few to get an understanding of just how dedicated and engaged the town and district employees are. Wareham Fire provided for multiple days a dedicated staff member to answer the calls routed to the Emergency Management Center. These were the non-emergency calls that usually would clog the dispatch lines that are used for emergencies. And I walked in, he said, "Call me Pooch," and I knew I liked him right away. And let me tell you, his demeanor on that, no matter what got thrown at him, and there was angry people and scared people, and we get it. And a lot was thrown at him. He was unflappable, so I was amazed by him. Onset Fire had they had the water district backhoe out walking, going through, plowing, working there, helping, assisting nonstop. Well, that's because they're part of the community as well, and the efforts. We appreciate all of that. Wareham EMS responded to almost the same amount of calls that the city of New Bedford did during the time frame with far less staffing. They were walking through the snow, and the fire departments assisted with sled-style stretchers that are usually used for ice rescues and inflatable. They were coming up with how to get people out on the fly. We've always said in an emergency, our first responders will get there no matter what. And they proved in that blizzard and the aftermath that that is the truth. We will get there. Municipal maintenance, while out plowing, would have equipment redirected to pull out other stuck ambulances, other stuck equipment, and punch through to get through the snow to the public safety colleagues to emergency. We got them to those houses. The municipal maintenance department had to stage our largest equipment on the other side of Charge Pond Road because of the bridge work that was done that we were speaking about, that we were so concerned. In fact, that equipment couldn't go back, so we had to drive fuel cells out to fill them up. But they made sure and they planned about it ahead of time because they understood. Now, one thing I would say as we go on here, and this is sort of an ad lib, so that's usually when I get in trouble, but I understand municipal finance can be difficult for people, so I'll try and make it as simple as possible. Snow and ice budget is one budget you can go into deficit on. There, in a snow disaster like this, there is no budget. We don't stop and say, well, we've spent it all, folks, we're done. We continue on until the job is done. And you'll see at town meeting, and God willing, no other storms, we'll be requesting an additional $500,000 transferred back into that for the storms we've already had. In a municipal budget, the finances close out at the end of the year. Surplus revenue, if you didn't have a lot of snow and ice, goes to what's called free cash. And you've noticed over the last 2 years, we've rolled over the free cash. And that is why we have funds available to do this. So the idea that we spent that money on tiddlywinks is not accurate. And I understand it can be confusing, so I hope that's clarifying some of it. From the last storm, we noticed there were some deficiencies. One of the tractors we ended up, that you saw out there that was on Facebook posts, we ended up getting new tires with them filled with beet juice. The reason for the extra weight on them, so that would be able to punch through because we were having issues in the last storm. The machine that's doing the sidewalks right now, it's out there because we realized with the amount of snow, you could not punch through and push that out there, so we need that type of snow thrower machines. We get the equipment when we can to make sure that it's ready for us because public safety is paramount, and that is, I will tell you, municipal maintenance is public safety operations. The EOC staff picked up essential employees for Toby Hospital to make sure they were available there to treat our residents. When the hospital lost power, we requested from Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, MEMA, as you referenced earlier, over 100 portable oxygen tanks to make sure the people had their oxygen. We kept the warming center open overnight for a couple of nights, and I want to thank Doreen, Patty, Barbara, Marie, Sam, and Robin for dedicating your time to the warming center. And thank you for Wareham PD, who came through during the nights to check on the staff and provided a few laughs in a tough situation. Thank you for Wareham PD for setting the tone in the last storm and getting out the information regarding the parking ban. Because of that, we had the least amount of vehicles we've ever had in the roads during these snowstorms, and that was able to help us open up the roads. I think people now understand why we have all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive cruisers, if you were asking before. Wareham Water Pollution Department. They kept the pump stations going and working throughout the storm and aftermath to make sure that an extremely difficult situation wasn't dramatically worse. None of us think about where the stuff goes when we flush it until it starts coming back up. And they made sure that when everything was on generators, when there was no power, that those pump stations were working. And if you received the call to minimize your water usage. And although we had one of the news stations from Boston call and say, we got a hot tip that your sewer department's failing. No, it's just like when you have a generator running in your house, you don't turn on every single light. So try and minimize what's coming through so that those generators can keep up. The IT department for sending out communications, rave alerts, also known as reverse 911s. And I know what folks are looking for. They want to know exactly when their road will be plowed, at what time. And I get it, especially in today's day and age. But that is absolutely not something we could ever provide and let you know that. So we will give you the best idea of what's going on. And some of the things that dramatically hurt our ability to get roads opened, where we had to redirect equipment to calls for service that were not emergency calls. And that would take, when you think about it in a storm like that, or the aftermath of those big equipment that we needed for opening up the roads, they're being redirected, and that could, you lose hours during that. And that impacted the safety of others. This one may be a little controversial, but I want to thank Eversource. Eversource, because of the relationship that the Emergency Management Director LaRue established, we had a dedicated person inside this building from Eversource for days after the storm, staying with us right up until late night, making sure all the information coming in, keeping us up to date, trying to establish what priorities were. And priorities involved, sometimes there was, from the hospital down to some of the wells down, other things like that. So, it was great to have them here, and it was a tremendous asset. And we wouldn't have that if we weren't already running these operations and the legwork done by Caleb LaRue and the other emergency operations staff members. There's a whole dedicated team. Kevin's in there, Sibby all the time, and it's fantastic. And they were ready for this, or I'd say as ready as you can be for a historically significant storm. I want to thank Senator Dooner, who Monday morning at 10 a.m. we requested from MEMA assistance in the form of loaders. We knew that we couldn't keep up with it. With the staffing we had them out in the loaders. But the idea that the pickup trucks and the smaller ones could keep up with that rate of snowfall from the privates, it's inaccurate. We ordered them up on the Monday 10th, but it's not like Burger King. You don't have it your way right away. So we also asked for some National Guard assistance, which came in. That was fantastic having them here, because what we realized is we need them to come and help in a storm like that, because we need dedicated staff to respond to emergencies and not pull the loaders out of the neighborhoods. So we were having trouble getting the loaders. There was assistance, and obviously there was issues all over the South Coast and such. On Wednesday morning at my wit's end, I called Senator Dooner and let her know we needed these. There was no other option, because it was going to be, the duration would be a lot worse. And by 6 p.m. that evening, we had those loaders, 10 of them. Not just the loaders, but operators. And then for the next several days, they ran 24 hours with the operators going on and off. Municipal maintenance staff during the day. Then Dave Evans, who you may understand is our retired emergency management EMS director, worked the night. And with Mike from McGuire from DNR worked the night, the two of them together leading the shift. So we had 24-hour operations of snow opening during that time. And I apologize, there's more. So, and again, this is just touching on a small bit of it. Thank you for Mark's for being open so the plow drivers could have a hot meal during that time. Believe it or not, that's extremely important.
Mark's, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mark's.
Mark Anthony's. on set.
Okay,
So.
we needed a name and a description. I thought you were talking about the tow truck people. Sorry, go on.
No, that's the so you know they kept the food opening, and they are our weather gauge. The fact that they were basically just helping the snowplow drivers out told us how bad it really was. So, the dispatchers during the storm, the dispatching staff from the PD and the districts, their calmness, their demeanor, and how they handle the stressful situations is amazing, and their credit to their profession. The National Guard, we had already thanked on there, and there's a lot more, but I'm going to wrap it up for you. To the residents that plowed out, snowblowed, shoveled out, checked on, and took in their neighbors. Thank you for proving what we've always said. Wareham is a fantastic community, and our residents step up and take care of each other when the times are tough. So that was amazing to see. You know, and I'd love to leave it on that note. It would have been a great ending, but I don't know when to end. During this storm, people were stranded on Route 24. Massachusetts State Police delivered 15 people to our warming center who were taken care of because we had the availability. And when we had some issues here, we were able to transport using one of the school buses to a Plymouth emergency center that were able to take our residents. It was coordinated, it was well taken care of, and this amount of the snow and the storm, it is too much for any operation, but our folks got it done. And I understand there was people that were cold, without power, that were snowed in, and it's difficult. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. And I know not everybody has the happiest thoughts of this, but the amount of work done by these public safety staff, the first responders, municipal maintenance, everybody, it was phenomenal. And thank you, the board, because as you said, having the foresight to allow us to vote, to allow the authority to town administrator to do the emergency declaration. We're already submitting for $128,000 in reimbursement. And thank you for, the select board members for your conversations and all your help during the storm. And lastly, today, Senator Duna showed up with a charcuterie board for the municipal maintenance folks.
That's class.
And it was amazing. So a little thank you goes a long way. And they made it themselves. They didn't even, they spent the morning doing it. So that's a reminder. Thank you goes a long way. And I appreciate everything our folks did for this community. Thank you.
Everybody.
On behalf of the staff, thank you.
We should end the meeting right now.
I just want to make one comment. There were people who were complaining that we were cleaning the sidewalks. And I asked you about that, and you told me that the people who were cleaning the sidewalks do not have CDL licenses, and therefore we were using our assets to the best of our ability. Could you?
Yeah, no, and I get it, because I think there was a video going around of saying, I believe it must have been tongue-in-cheek about the snow blowing machine that we're talking about. This location is where the emergency operations center is and where the warming center is. So we have it available for the residents, also staff coming in, so they're available, and we have custodians on staff. They are not CDL, they don't have the CDL licenses, and we don't have a plow vehicle for them. So rather than staying inside and cleaning, they were out there starting to try and work on the sidewalks and stuff. So I guess context is everything, but it's, I'm happy, and that machine's actually great. And you've noticed they've tried to hit at least one side of the road, and they're coming back. And with almost 200 miles of town road, it's a long duration. So.
Thank you. We'll go on to liaison initiative reports, board comments. Mr. Still?
I would just like to echo Mr. Sullivan's.
There's your thing.
want to echo Mr. Sullivan's thanks for all the staff and departments. There's no liaison reports for me, but I felt that's worth to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Chad?
have none.
No? Ms. Corbett?
I just have a couple things. It's to follow up. There was a letter to the editor in Wareham Week about how come we didn't know this was coming, and I heard another comment, a place I was on Main Street, how come we didn't know? I'd like there was a way for you guys to know. You go to the town website, down there on the lower left, there's a red button that says alerts. You click on that, you can get on the mailing list like I am to have phone call, text, and an email anytime anything like this happens. So there is a way to become informed of what's going on in town through that method. So that's all I want to say.
What's that old saying? You can lead a horse to water?
Thank you. I just want to re-echo what everybody has said. It was not fun. And it was not, sorry, as bad as 1978. So,
Oh, no, I disagree
No.
with you.
This one definitely beat that. I wasn't
big
around for that,
time.
but it definitely beat that.
Beat it.
no.
It was an
No, no,
actual
no.
hurricane.
I was
I've
6
seen the
weeks old.
picture.
I don't even know what you're all talking about.
Right.
Okay, I was in Hawaii. This one beat that one.
Route 128 was closed for 10 days. Our town moderator, who was in college at the time, spent the whole time that she was on vacation from her college education using cross-country skis throughout Cambridge and, Boston, and in fact, on 128, she told me. So it was a whole lot worse. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I have nothing else. I will accept a motion. I want to know, I just want to ask a question. These articles, I'd like to know who you would like to hear from, and we'll get them to come in on the 17th. But so while she's reading that motion, if you can figure out who you would like to have in terms of coming before us. Mr. Sullivan will do all of the town stuff.
You're talking which specific articles you'd like in front of the select board before the actual meeting?
Yes, so the plastic bag is a
Yes.
petition, and the other one, so you'd like both of those?
And 17?
And 17?
Yeah.
Yep, so,
One suggestion I would make, if you don't mind, is Upper Cape Cod Tech, they will be presenting to the Finance Committee. I think it'd be great if select board members either went to it or watched,
it, yep.
rather than having them come back multiple
When is
times.
this?
I agree.
Jody will give us the information, so it's going to be one of the upcoming Monday nights
Okay,
for it.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
do a
that's
good
much-
presentation.
absolutely.
19 worth having them here?
That's Mr. Slavin, yes.
It's a petition
It's a
article.
petition article, we should hear from the
Yeah, I would
petitioner.
like 18 and 19 to be included.
Okay, excellent.
Is 17 to dissolve Minot Forest Committee? Do we,
That would be, it's open
us.
space and mine for us both. So I would think that we should hear
hear
from,
from
yeah,
them? Okay.
okay. Okay, excellent, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I move to accept the meeting minutes of the February 7th, 2026 regular session.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of that date as read into the record. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Still?
No. Aye.
And myself, aye, it is so, thank
Motion to
you.
adjourn.
Motion made to adjourn, it is
Second.
not debatable. We are adjourned, may I have a roll call vote, please? Mr. Still, Mr.
Yes.
Chadwick, Ms. Corbett, and myself, we are adjourned at 8:09. Thank you very much, Wareham. Good night, we will see you
Night.
on the 17th.